The All Elite Wrestling Draft is back, and we are speculating where the recent WWE releases end up. On today's episode, we're putting on the big board the IIconics, the only tag team that we have in the All Elite Wrestling Draft here, Ralph, for this round of releases. This is an interesting one because they're not really known for their in-ring ability, but both of them have decent matches when they were in NXT, but they are great characters. And I know AEW is not necessarily known for their great characters outside of guys like Orange Cassidy. Do you think they could actually be a good fit in AEW?
Well, at the very least, they're entertaining.
They absolutely are.
I think Billie Kay surprised a lot of people when they split up the IIconics, because I think a lot of people expected, myself included, all right, this is where they're going to try to put Peyton Royce as like push her as a singles competitor.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll be the one that stands out. Now, Ultimately, I don't think that happened. I think Billie Kay kind of found her niche and was able to show everybody that she can be entertaining and can be funny, because even though, you know, she had her little cult following, I think most people would agree that she did her best work when she actually wasn't in the group, the IIconics. So whether it's one of them or whether it's both of them going to any one promotion, you know, I think that maybe not from an in-ring standpoint, but from a charismatic standpoint and an entertainment standpoint, they could be beneficial anywhere.
Yeah, I agree. But I think what actually helps in this case, as far as whether or not they want to sign with AEW or, you know, have that connection with AEW, is the fact that Peyton Royce is married to Shawn Spears. So does Shawn Spears have a chat with Tony Khan and Cody Rhodes and be like, listen, they would be a great asset in this women's division. And maybe if they're talking about tag team division in the women's division eventually, the IIconics would be a great tag team to start that off with.
I'd agree. Yeah, because, you know, they had a lot of buzz when they were initially brought up from NXT, especially when you go back and listen to the crowd react when they interrupted Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, even winning the tag titles, I think they won them in Australia, right?
No, they won them at WrestleMania. We were there.
No, I know, but didn't they win them in Australia as well? Then wasn't that a big thing because they won them at like a Super Showdown?
They won a match, or they were in a match, but I don't think that's not where they won the titles. They only won the titles at WrestleMania.
Well, in any event, they do have a couple of big wins. Peyton Royce, you know, I think a lot of people would say, oh, she's not the best wrestler in the ring, but you know what? You're comparing her to, in WWE, you're comparing it to the best, which would be like what? Charlotte, Becky Lynch, Sasha. And for what it's worth, going back 3 weeks ago, she cut an amazing promo. And if she can go out there and do that on a weekly basis or whenever she's expected to, she can deliver.
Yeah, she definitely can. And I mean, this one is kind of hard for where they could fit, even in AEW or elsewhere, because they are really, I mean, they've been kind of labeled in WWE as a comedy team. But, you know, you need something like that in any promotion. You need those comedy or gimmick characters to help your product, just to freshen things up and make it a little different, where everything's not just the same, you know, match or sports-based kind of thing. They just provide something different. So, I mean, where can they go outside of AEW? I mean, you could think Impact Wrestling with how deep their women's roster is. Ring of Honor would be a tough one because there's not much of a women's roster there. NWA, again, when they focus on, you have to be able to cut a promo more than anything, I think, in NWA. So they would be a great asset there. Maybe they go back to Australia and run the independents somewhere, just run the circuit.
Yeah, if I was going to pick anywhere other than AEW, I would say Impact.
Why would you say Impact?
Just because I feel like their strengths being more characters than known for their in-ring work. I think that they would have the ability to get over more with their fan base. Like they'd be given the opportunity there, because with AEW, I mean, the more their numbers grow, the more AEW is going to be forced to focus on the talent that they feel has the brightest future, I think. And I don't know where they would fit in that yes, they're characters. Yes, they'd be funny and they might have a place, but is AEW willing to give them airtime rather than whoever else?
Well, obviously with the WWE notoriety, they may.
But they already have so many people that they're doing that with. That's my point.
True, but if you're, let's say they decide, AEW decides to do a tag team division. They would be the forefront of it. Like, we're creating this tag team division for you so that you have the proper tag team title run that you should have gotten in WWE. And we could build tag teams around this division with our deep ass roster that we have, and, you know, take some independent guys and you can help grow them in a tag team division. And it can work, but I mean, like I said, it's going to be tough. And I think this team here is probably the hardest to place where they end up going. Can they end up in AEW? Can they end up elsewhere? I think, to me, I think it comes down to NWA or AEW.
You're saying NWA. I'm going to go with Impact.
Okay. Well, I'm saying either NWA or AEW, but you're going with Impact.
Yeah.
I think they actually end up in AEW. I really do. I think if both of them go as a tag team, or just one of them, like let's say Peyton Royce goes to AEW, can you see Billie Kay going somewhere else? Or do you think they're a package deal?
I think Billie Kay really was able to cement like her character, like her gimmick, that with the whole, especially now, I mean, when you think about it, look, she was released. So what is the one thing she can go to any promotion and say, well, I have this
a resume.
Yeah, exactly. And she can go week by week and go to any show or every show and be like, you know, I have a resume. Can you hire me? And then eventually maybe she gets a match and wins it in a fluky fashion. Something like that. Can I see that happening? Of course I can, because it makes for good, fun entertainment. So yeah, I can see it happening.
You know what? I think she has a YouTube channel. And I think at this point, she just goes around. And remember when Bobby the Brain Heenan was trying to sneak into the Manhattan Center?
Yes.
I think she could do something like that on her YouTube channel, where she tries to go to different TV tapings and tries to hand her resume. And I think it would work so well.
Yep.
But if I were to split them up and go in different promotions, I say Peyton goes to AEW and Billie goes to Impact.
Yeah, I could see that realistically happening.
Where does Mickie James go in the All Elite Wrestling Draft? Click the thumbnail on the screen right now to check out that conversation, and subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, and we'll see you on the next episode of the Squared Circle Psychobabble.